This is the KoperCrabb Podcast.
I'm Cheney Crab.
I am Naveen Copperwise. There I am.
If you would like to grab any podcast merch, it's available at the Big Cartel link in our description. It's KoperCrabb.BigCartel.com. Naveen and I are in a band called ENTHEOS, and if you would like to grab ENTHEOS merch, it's available at the other link in our bio, which is ENTHEOSofficial.BigCartel.com. We ship the merch from that website. If you would like to grab merch that we do not ship for our band, you can hit up the Night Shift merch if you're in the US and also if you're in Europe.
We've got some limited edition hats, camo hat, metal orange logo.
Up in
right
the
here.
store.
I gave mine away at the Suffocation show, so
Nice.
not wearing mine.
So we've got that, and we've got some tour dates coming up with the band as well with Worm, Shepherd, and Oceano. And those are July 29th in West Chicago at WC Social Club, July 30th, Minneapolis at Skyway Theater, July 31st, Indianapolis at Emerson Theater, August 2nd, Frederick, Maryland, Cafe 611, August 3rd, Pittsburgh at Preserving Underground, August 4th, Albany at Empire Underground, August 5th, Horseheads, New York at the L, August 6th, Brooklyn, New York at the Meadows, and it wraps up August 7th in Columbus at Ace of Cups. Also, if you would like to call into the podcast, because as you will see at the end of this episode, we now play call-ins.
You can call in and leave us a message.
Leave us a message.
Leave us your thoughts,
ask
comments.
us a question. The phone number for that is 615-420-7342. And that's the intro, folks.
There we go. I should have a little streaming thing at the bottom of the screen that's like, call in, leave us
Call in. You really should do that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
That's your
Producer duties.
yeah, for the next week.
I'm definitely going to do that, handle that. But yeah, another thing, elephant in the room. Naveen, why is your nose all busted up? And the answer is because I was moshing super hard at a Suffocation show.
Got caught in the mosh.
Over the weekend. See, the thing is, you might think that I just got caught in the mosh, but I was like one of the key moshers.
You were one of the key moshers.
Yeah, I was.
I always say caught in a mosh because it's a song.
Oh.
That's a song title.
Who is it?
I think it's, you should look it up. Is it Anthrax?
Caught in the mosh.
Caught in a mosh. Hold up.
Let's check that out. But yeah.
That's me knowing nothing about.
Yeah, you can look it up real quick.
Yeah.
And so Chaney and I took a little road trip for the first time since we've moved out to Tennessee, and we drove up to Kentucky.
It's an Anthrax song. I was
There
obviously correct because I am a metal
encyclopedia
aficionado.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I should have known that, but I'm full disclosure. I don't listen to Anthrax.
I don't either.
I'm a death metal guy.
Yeah.
I've been listening to death metal since I was 12. So I got into that real early, and then that's what I was into.
Yeah, thrash was never my thing.
Yeah,
but if I hear a thrash song, I'm into it a lot of the time. I like the like thrash thing. I'm down for it.
I can get down.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say that I only listen to death metal, but
That's kind of your go-to.
yeah.
I would say more specifically for me, it's groovy death metal. Like that specific area of death metal
Cannibal
that
Corpse.
I go to. Cannibal would be like the height. Yeah, or the Cannibal would be like the
Head.
grandfather at the
But then
top
I was
of the
thinking,
tree.
I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm like, where does Suffocation land? Because
That's true.
they're super old school and the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would put Suffo in the same bracket as Cannibal. But they were like bands from the same time period roughly.
Yeah.
I think Suffo formed after Cannibal.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I
Me
know
either.
like Pierce from Within's from 95.
Yeah,
know
well,
if
Cannibal was
that's-
putting out albums before that.
Like their first album's 89.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
But anyway, yeah, so we took a little road trip up to
Louisville.
and it was a fucking good time, dude.
For those of you who don't know, that's how you pronounce Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So only the
Outsiders.
people in the know how to. So that's how they can spot you the minute you're in Louisville.
Yeah.
If you're not, if you're pronouncing it Louisville, oh, this is not a person.
You know what's funny
from
though? My mom says Louisville, and she's from there.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's Because she's kind of dropped, like she doesn't sound fully Southern accented.
That's true. Maybe so she can't be in California, like going around saying Louisville. No one knows
saying I'm from Louisville.
Yeah.
No one knows what that is.
But it was so, I mean, seriously, that was probably one of the best shows I've ever been
I'm
to.
putting it in my top 10.
It was
Cheney's
so
top
sick.
10. I was telling you the other day, the last time that I like felt that way at a show, I think it was when we saw Fetus in 2014.
Yeah, could have been.
I just like was so happy. I just felt absolutely elated being at that show.
Just like, yeah, like when we first, so we drove up there. We wanted to get there earlier to try to check out the town and stuff, but that didn't really happen.
Didn't happen.
So we went up there, we got a hotel, and then there was a liquor store across the street. So while Cheney was getting ready for the show, I ran over and grabbed us these like
the worst drinks that exist.
Really
on
bad.
planet
Actually,
Earth.
I think I have 2 of them in the fridge.
Yeah, and they're disgusting.
They're insane.
They're so gross. Just I wish that we could have just gotten White Claw.
So yeah, she's like, go grab some White Claw, and I'm like, all right.
I love White Claw. Sorry. Well, I love Truly. I love all the White Claw variations. That's
so I got one that was like a tequila and seltzer water one, which was
disgusting,
really bad.
Yeah.
And then I got these like canned mixed drink things that are like this big, 25% alcohol.
So gross.
So that's how we started the night off. So you kind of do
know
the
where it went
math.
from
That's
there.
why Naveen's nose is all busted
We didn't
up.
eat either. We had no dinner.
We didn't eat. So
and earlier that day we were like, we have to hurry up and get there. So we stopped and got like some
Taco Bell.
So
we did eat Taco Bell. But anyway, so
it was a day of.
It turns out the hotel that I booked was walking distance to the club.
That was cool,
That was
and
sick.
I want to try to do that more.
Yeah, that was really
was
sick.
like so cool.
Yeah, so we got to. It was like it was like almost a mile, something like that. So we
Not
had
a
a
bad
little
walk.
walk, and we had our weird mixed drinks and stuff. But I was already after drinking those two, the 125% thing, and then the seltzer tequila thing.
You're ripped.
I showed up and I was like ready to party. I was having a good time, and then. It's just my ideal place to see a show, that place that we went to.
Mine too. And what it was, it's essentially, it's just like a bar. It's kind of like an OG old school venue. It's my favorite fucking type of place
to see a show. It's like a dive bar, but it's kind of hipster and has like good beer, good drinks. It's kind of, the vibe is good. It's like dark.
Yeah.
But it's kind of updated. It's not like ran down, you know? Like it's a nice place to go.
Right. And the venue sounded good.
Yeah, and it seemed like they had a bunch of good food and stuff, which we didn't try.
We didn't have any,
So
there was also a rave after, which is also an ideal situation for me. I know it becomes a bummer because when there's like a dance party going on after the metal show, you generally have to end early. So if anyone went and saw us on the Tech Trek tour with Archspire in LA, we played incredibly early for a Saturday night.
Yeah.
I think that our show had to end at like 9 or something.
It was insane.
But that's because there was a dance party afterward.
Right.
And so it's kind of lame when you're like on the tour doing it and you have to get out of there, but it's sick as fuck when you're just attending a show and you go to the dance party.
Dude, that's
after
what I was thinking right before the podcast. I was like, man, that show was so much more fun than playing a show on tour. It was like 10 times more fun.
Yeah.
You know, like we showed up. So we showed up with, we had a little bit of a buzz going. We're feeling good. We're like, yeah, we did a little road trip.
Mm-hmm.
We go in.
Got a beer. Pronto.
Got a beer. Pronto. And Surreption is just fucking boom.
I know, I feel really bad because we missed the first band, Contrarian. So shout out to that band. I wish we caught you guys, but we left a little late from here, and we didn't realize. We also didn't realize that Kentucky is on East Coast time and we're in Central time. So
that's what fucked us.
Yeah, we're really close. We're really close to the cutoff. So we were like cutting it really close to even catch Surreption's set.
Yeah,
but
that's what fucked us.
Yeah, I wish we could have caught them, but we didn't.
So we walk in. Surreption's about to go on. It looked like they were having some sort of technical problem, which I think saved us.
Yeah,
so we would have missed a little bit of their set. Mm-hmm. So they fucking totally ripped.
Absolutely ripped.
Are you kidding me?
Shout out to all of those guys because that was insane.
That was so sick. Yeah. I was like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And their drummer, Tony, is like just
Tony is one of the best drummers in death metal, period.
Oh my God.
Period.
Actually, hold on, I got a little video.
He's so precise and he hits really hard. It's so sick. See, look, check that.
Shit. What the hell is going on? Let me start that again. So yeah, we walk in and that's happening.
If you guys are just listening, there's a video playing from Naveen's phone. Dude, the way he just smashes the snare.
Smashes, dude. I mean, that's not even, like, you're not hearing the mic. You're just hearing the snare.
Yeah. Ian killed, I think this was Ian's first tour with them on guitar, and he murdered it. Tony back there just murking.
So yeah, the size of the show and everything
is perfect.
Shit, actually, you know what? Fuck. I'm just totally goofed that.
What?
The video thing. Anyway, they weren't watching it. They were watching me watching it. Anyway, it was sick.
Oh, really? They were watching you watching it?
Don't worry, I got more videos to play. It's all good. If I can figure out how to do it correctly. Right. Anyway, so yeah, that's happening when we walk in. I'm like, this rules.
Yeah.
And then we're friends with some of the dudes in Suffocation, so we saw them. We were like all hanging out. Yeah, let's take some shots. So they're like, let's go get a shot on the bus. And we're like, all right, well, let's fucking go. And then we're hanging out. We caught some of Atheist.
Yeah, Atheist was sick.
They're like I
would say
I never really got into them.
Avant. Yeah. It's like, in the same bracket as Death, I would say. Jazz, but even more out there than Death. Like it's jazzy kind of avant-garde death metal, and they rip.
They ripped
They're amazing. And they're Atheist are OGs. Like, get hip to that band if you haven't.
It was a great, and then Suffocation comes on, and by that time I'm already I'm toasted, and then I don't even know the last time I went to mosh was. I literally don't know. It might have been when I've told the story about when I tried to mosh for Converge and got hit in the mouth.
Oh yeah,
that might have been the last time, which was like 15 years ago.
Wow.
So
Suffo brought you out.
Oh man,
I mean,
dude.
They murdered. Oh my God. And Ricky, who's the vocalist, he's like killing it.
Totally
just
killing
perfect
it, dude. Everything
murking.
was super sick.
Yeah.
I got a little video of that. Let's try.
It was just fantastic to watch.
So yeah, they come on.
Is this gonna play? Shout out to that Mersey. Yeah. So good.
Don't know why the audio's cutting out, but
there's got to be a tech issue. Dude, look at Derek playing the bass.
Planted.
Yeah.
On the ground.
I mean, we're talking OG here.
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there who doesn't know who Suffocation is? Probably not.
I don't know. But I mean, basically the whole entire their sound now is like a genre. I think it's just like death metal is that now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not really like in the tech scene, I guess. And
it's groovy.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of bands now who just sound like they did.
Totally.
The same production.
Yeah, like 90s DM. I guess it's OSDM is what they're calling it now. Old school death metal.
Okay.
Is in. It's making a comeback. But it's like 90 or it's the 90s, so it's 20 years later. You have to.
That's true.
Things kind of come back into style 20 years after their inception.
It's the cycle.
Yeah. The cycle of
So maybe we'll be popular in 20 years.
I think it's 10 years. Well, you have to go. Yeah. 20 years.
But man, they super ripped it, dude. And fuck, that was just really sick. It was just really, really sick and really, really fun. And then
the next day I just felt so happy.
I would have felt happy if I didn't feel like I got hit by a train.
Yeah, Naveen was pretty.
Cheney had to drive home.
I did.
After when we woke up in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. I also had to force you to get out of the bed.
I would have just called the front desk and been like, hey, I need to book another night here because I can't get up.
Yeah.
I started crying.
I was just
a
worried
little
about our cats.
bit. Yeah, I know, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, but well worth it for that show,
Yeah.
and having a blast at the show. It was cool to hang out with all the dudes from Surreption
Yep,
and see
it
them,
was
because
sick.
we toured with Surreption in, I think it was 2018 on Summer Slaughter.
Yeah, 2018 Summer Slaughter.
And they had to leave like halfway through the tour, so it was cool to see those guys.
And they had their original bass player this time.
Yeah,
So that was like way sicker.
Yeah, it was awesome because
They
they were
absolutely
playing as a
ripped.
3-piece on Summer Slaughter, which was still sick, but
Yeah.
sicker this time for sure.
It was so fun. And then, like Cheney said, there was like a club night after, which we kind of went into for a second.
I wish that you had my videos, because I was on stage dancing with like the DJ. That's the type of stuff
Crashing
that
the-
I do when I'm drunk. They were letting everyone on stage.
Yeah.
So they let all the girls on stage. Obviously, it's
Okay.
a club.
Okay.
So I was
Yeah.
up there dancing, having a
Alright.
great time,
Yeah.
and then hanging in the bus. Ton of pictures. It was just a great
Yeah,
time.
apparently I may or may not have started crying on the bus. That's what I've heard.
You cried after you got off the bus.
Okay. And that's when I was like, I want you to have my hat, dude. Oh, man.
I think I didn't do this because I was drunk either, but I did leave my bag of merch on the bus. Spent a pretty penny on merch.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it's still there.
We went out and supported. Here, I want to show you guys what I got. They had the coveted pierced from within long sleeve.
That's dope
Check
as hell.
that shit out. Sleeve print. Stuff on the back, lyrics. It's all brutal and whatnot.
All brutal and whatnot.
But funny story. My brother actually had that shirt, the original one.
Yeah, what's the name of the brand? Blue Grape.
I think it was a blue grape one, dude. Straight up. And he
Do people know about Blue Grape?
yeah. Shirt collecting people do, definitely.
But for those of you who do not know what Blue Grape is,
I think it was just like a merch company in the early 2000s and 90s.
that was
So
putting
if you
out all that
have
stuff,
a shirt with a blue grape tag, it's
then you're rocking OG expensive shit.
yeah, the top quality shit. Anyway, he had that shirt and traded it to, which I believe we got at a thrift store in Santa Cruz.
Wow.
And then traded it to a friend who still has it, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wish we could get that back.
So yeah, I texted him a picture. I was like, check it out, dude. I got it. He was like, that's sick that they're repressing that.
Totally.
Because I don't fucking care. I don't care if it's the original. I'd honestly rather have that one because I got it at that night that I had hella fun.
Yeah, totally.
And I had it tied around my waist while I was moshing.
Yeah,
Straight up.
you did. What a good night. It's
Yeah.
just so cool to go to shows and just the feeling that seeing a sick band gives you. I love it. And it's
the best
something,
feeling, man.
when you're a kid and you're listening to metal, people will tell you that you're going to grow out of it. Like, oh, that's just a phase that you're going through. But metal, honestly, Naveen and I were talking about this the other day. Metal is the only thing that neither of us have changed about ourselves throughout our lives.
And it's not to say we listen to all kinds of other music.
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely.
Like,
Ton
and
of
I've
other
gone
music.
through periods in my life where I'm not listening to that much metal.
Same.
But
I've
I'm
always
still metal.
to make like I've always been a music fanatic. It's not just metal, but being a part of the like family of metal is something that has never changed about me since I was 12 years old, 13 years old. Like that's just something that I can't grow out of enjoying.
Yeah, I mean if we go
or doing.
like when we went to the Air concert,
Mm-hmm.
it's like sick. Air's one of my favorite bands ever, but is it the same as seeing Suffocation in Louisville and moshing and getting a bloody nose? Not really.
Well, when we go to a metal show, even though you can go to a metal show with 500 people at it, and you still know that on some level you can relate to everyone there.
It's camaraderie.
Because we all do this thing.
Yeah.
Like anywhere in the world, we can go to a metal show and just find our people in that area. And that's something so cool that all of us have in common, that it's just we can relate on that basic level. We're a bunch of different people, a bunch of different types of people. I've met people who work at NASA who are into metal, police officers who play metal are into metal,
Yeah.
people who, you know, from all walks of life, teachers,
That's what I
all
love
walks of life who are into it. But this is like one commonality that we have, and it's fantastic to have
cult,
that.
metal cult.
Yeah, cult of
But
metal.
we did meet some people in the crowd. They're like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Yeah, they thought we moved there.
They're like, "Oh no," they thought that we were on the tour.
Oh, really?
They were like, "Are you guys on this tour? Like doing?" They thought that we were on the tour, like doing like a tech job or
Oh,
something.
that's funny.
And then we were like, "No, man, we just drove here. We live in Nashville."
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Sick." And then one of the guys like made a post like and like tagged me in it, like, Naveen was moshing all night. And
Really?
Yeah.
He tagged you in it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was hilarious. Which is like, I mean, that's great that he probably thinks that I'm like a moshing kind of a guy. But maybe I am now. Maybe I am a moshing kind of a
Moshing
guy.
is fun.
I'd probably have to be drunk though. I don't know if I would do it not drunk. I'd be
See,
like, I'm worried my finger's gonna get broken.
The thing is about me, I would have been one to mosh before, but ever since I got in an accident, I'm really like not trying to mosh with my face and stuff. I'm worried because I still can't really feel all of my nose.
Right.
So it worries me to
And
get
if
into a
you
mosh
got
pit.
this on your nose,
That would
that
not
probably
be
would have
fun.
been like not a good thing.
If I got hit in the nose, it would be a really, really fucking bad time for me. So
But yeah, that kid who I was talking about after the show, he's like, dude, I think you got like hit in the face because I had no idea, you know. And then it was like bloody.
that's funny.
That's just so cool.
So yeah,
man.
it was a great time.
Yeah, it was really,
really fun show.
Well, I mean, what else can we say? It was a great time.
That's it.
I can't wait for the next.
That's all she wrote.
Cannot wait for the next metal show.
Yeah, I know.
We've been going to a lot of shows since we
have.
moved here, and that's another thing that I really like about it here is, you know, if the show's not coming to Nashville, well, we can drive to Kentucky. We could go to Atlanta. It's kind of far, but
Yeah, Atlanta's like a 4-hour drive from here, which
Yeah.
I did not realize.
and I thought it was closer.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was as close as Louisville.
Yeah, I mean, driving up there was totally not a big deal. I
No.
mean, it was a fun drive. Had
Yeah.
a great time. Not on the way home. I
And
was-
we started talking
sad.
about how, like, when I was a kid, the last band that I was in Des Moines, I would drive 2 hours for practice once
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
And you said you would drive even further when you were in Hoods.
Yeah, I had a lot going on. Busy band schedule,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't want anymore.
You don't want a busy band schedule?
No, I don't. I like being at home.
Oh.
But of course, no, I don't want to be in multiple bands. is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. I mean, our band has a fine schedule. I can
Yeah, I enjoy
hold
it.
that down.
Totally.
But trying to do that with 2 bands. I mean, I've been in,
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
rough.
in my points in my life, I was in like 3 bands.
Well, you know about drummers. It's hard to find really sick drummers
Yeah.
who are down. So drummers have to be in about 30 bands
Totally.
so
And-
that
yeah.
the band ecosystem can survive.
Exactly. And that's why I will do session stuff. But other than that, no, we're not doing it. Live stuff, no. I mean, I get asked to do it, and I probably would do some of it if ENTHEOS didn't have tour and stuff. But I'm not trying to like cram it in. Like, yeah, I'll do this tour and then I'll come home and do it. No, I'm just it's not my thing.
Well, that's because being home is fun.
I like being home.
Yeah.
And I like
Some people don't.
yeah.
Some people really don't like being home. And
Yeah.
some people really don't like touring. And I personally am someone who's right smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
I really like them both, but I really need like it to be I need to have a neutral balance of both things because doing too much of one can drive me crazy.
Yeah, I mean, tour is one of those things where when I'm on tour, it's fun and I'm having a good time, and I'm obviously really happy that we get to do it and everything. But when I'm like right now, the thought of going on tour, it just seems impossible, foreign
Yeah.
to me.
Mm-hmm. It starts to feel that way after a couple of weeks at home, I think. And then you're
Yeah,
like, okay,
I'm like,
you know, then I don't know, 2 or so weeks before a tour, I start to mentally prepare.
Yeah, because I'm like practicing all the time and we're ordering the merch and
And then
we're,
you
like,
get
getting
stoked.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when the band like shows up and we're getting ready to go, it's obviously really fun.
And it's exciting too.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you. Like, we knew about the last tour that we did last year in the middle of the summer. And at that point, confirming it felt so far away, and it's like, okay, that tour's never going to happen. Yeah. And then you get closer to it and it's like, oh God, I'm going on to, you go through, there are multiple stages of going on tour.
Yeah.
It's that's never going to happen into oh God, I'm going on tour pretty soon. Yeah. And then oh, everyone's here. I'm excited to go on tour.
Exactly.
Now I'm on tour.
Yeah. And then
many stages of
but
tour.
I mean, you and I have worked, I think, really hard to have a home life that is cool.
Yeah.
You know,
so totally.
We have the studio and the podcast, and we're taking on kind of more and more work, if you want to call it that, within our own little thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that was kind of one of the reasons why the last tour I was a little bit I was just a little, I came off, like when we got home, I was like, we need to think of a way to, do the podcast and kind of keep that thing.
Yeah, keep the momentum running with
keep all the other
things.
stuff kind of going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making little videos and stuff. So, because it's just, I don't know, there's a lot to do on tour, so it's overwhelming to do everything all together.
Yeah, especially, I know we've talked about this, but especially the tour that we just did, like seeing itineraries for hypothetical future tours, the ones that I've seen so far, they seem a little more chill.
Yeah.
Like you can look at the routing on tours and know what you're getting yourself into. And we knew that one was going to be pretty hard going into it because
not to cover a lot of ground.
Yeah. And a lot of tours take one day off a week, usually Sundays are band Fridays. So you'll have a Monday off because I guess the thought there is that Monday shows don't do as well. But this tour just didn't have those Mondays off, and they did really well still.
Yeah.
So
you can play on a Monday and have a good show. Apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but anyway,
it's just something to keep in mind, But we have gone over on the podcast that we will be doing it on the next tour.
Yes, we will.
But we're going to do audio only. We should get that little studio thing, by the way.
Totally. We should.
And then we can interview people, too. We can do man on the street.
Yeah, that would be rad. All right, you want to kick it into some of these questions?
So as we had said earlier, we have a hotline.
Hotline. What's my little jingle?
For the golden...
Mail time. And the number for that, 615-420-7342. You can call or text.
They're not live calls, obviously.
They're not
you
live
just
calls.
Call in and leave a message.
And
if you
we'll
fuck
probably
up,
get to it. You can call back.
Yeah, you can do
You can choose to not post it.
Yeah, you can do takes.
Yep.
So we actually got a call, when we were setting up for the podcast. But should I start oldest?
Yeah, start. Let's go oldest to newest.
Okay. So that would be this one here. All right, let's let it rip. You ready for this, Chaney?
Yeah, we need to make a jingle this week.
Yeah.
Hey, Chaney. Hey, Naveen. My name's Kevin. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I don't have a question here, but I just wanted to pop in and say that I've been listening to the podcast since actually a good friend of mine and a mutual friend of ours, Andrew Baird, was on your podcast. And after that, I kind of went from the very beginning up to the most present episode and had been listening to everything all through the pandemic. And I worked a maintenance job at the time, and basically there was nobody there other than my crew. And every day while whether I was cleaning or pressure washing or something, I was always listening to your podcast. I just want to say it brought a lot of kind of comfort and entertainment while I was basically alone with two other guys all summer on a large property. I haven't got to see you guys yet. Your most recent tour at work was way too busy and I couldn't really get time off for it. And unfortunately you're only like an hour away from me. But I hope to see you guys maybe this year, maybe next year. But I just want to say congratulations on everything that's been happening with you guys and ENTHEOS and the podcast. And you guys take care.
Damn.
Right.
Thanks, Kevin. That's really awesome. That's crazy that this podcast is helping people roll through the times at work or whatever. That really means a lot to us. Yeah, I think, we, like I said earlier, we've got those dates coming up. We've got some stuff planned. Hope we can catch you and see you in real life and say hello.
I think we have learned that a lot of people do listen to this podcast at work.
Yeah.
And Chaney and I are no strangers to having grueling day jobs.
Definitely not. And no strangers to listening to podcasts while doing those jobs.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, I was actually thinking about that today when I was setting up. I was thinking, wow, it's Tuesday during the day and we're getting to do this podcast. That's sick as fuck. So, honestly, like, all the people at work, shout out to you guys, man.
Shout out to you.
Love you guys.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. Keep it going. Anyway, if we can help that, that's a good thing.
Yeah, really. Truly is.
Okay, we got a crank call. I don't know. Do you want to hear that one?
Sure.
Why don't we do the crank call last? We'll do the other ones first. Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to encourage the crank calls.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Let's not play.
Anyway, a guy.
Screw you,
Hey, Cheney and Naveen. This is Jake from Scrap Pile down here in Texas.
Scrap Pile.
Hey, on episode 100, congratulations, by the way.
Thanks, Jake.
You guys talked about your more basic T-shirt preferences of just a black shirt and a white logo. And I wish I had known that, because when I brought you guys my band's merch, it was the most colorful, bombastic shirt that we had front and back. And we have a much more simplistic design. So I wish I had known that beforehand.
Oh, was that? Oh, your thing cut out.
And maybe next time you guys come to Texas, I'll bring you some of our more basic merch, and maybe you guys will like it a little better. Love and peace from all of us down here in the South. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.
I actually really liked the merch that Jake brought us.
Yeah, is it?
Because it's Scrap Pile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I freaked out over it.
And also, yeah, I mean, like, it's funny, I'm wearing like a color shirt today.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if it has to be black and white only, but it should just look kind of old school, I think.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah. Like, I really like that suffocation shirt.
Yeah, I know, because, dude, the other day, the merch that I bought as well, it was colorful.
Yeah.
So I think that it's just up to design. And there's a certain kind of shirt that I'm referring to that I don't really like.
Yeah, I agree with
that. And I don't want to name like a...
We're not going to call people out here.
We're not going to say who it is. But there's a band I'm thinking of who specifically has like all this kind of merch.
Yeah. So, a lot of bands.
And it's that kind of merch.
I mean, I think the thing is we're the weird ones. Most people like the bombastic.
We like stuff. The Scrap Pile merch, Jake.
Is that the one that's
is that the one
that's like kind of bluish on the back and it's got like a planet or something on the front?
I can't remember.
Okay, because that one's cool.
I just remember liking the Scrap Pile merch.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that, and we're looking forward to the more simplistic merch next time.
Shout out Jake.
Okay. Let's get into more of these calls here.
That's hilarious. Also, a lot of people, there were like some emails about people wanting to send in merch, and I wish I would have brought in, we have a P.O. box.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't want to like announce at the beginning of every thing, because truly, you guys do not have to send us anything. But if you feel so inclined, next week I'll put, or maybe we'll put it up in the description.
We'll put the
our
P.O. box there. If you guys want to send us something,
go for it.
Shy away from sending like bombs or poisonous stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Illegal stuff.
That would be illegal. Yeah, and you'll probably, I'm just saying, like, the FBI will track you down.
Yeah.
If you do that.
So, there's that.
Hey guys, this is Sean from Poughkeepsie, New York. Hope you're both doing really well. So I was listening to your latest episode, and you mentioned how there's kind of like a Lost Animals as Leaders DVD you filmed. Mm-hmm. And it got me thinking about that whole era of band DVDs and home videos, which I kind of miss. Like, obviously they've been replaced by social media and YouTube, but it was really cool to have like this extra thing by a band to buy and watch at home, like something extra besides an album or going to see them live or whatever. So I'm wondering if you guys have any thoughts about that and what your favorite band DVDs might be. Like, some of mine would be like Lamb of God's Philadelphia, or Slipknot Disaster Pieces, or like BT Dam Colors Live, which I just like watched a whole ton back when I was in high school. So anyway, congrats on all the success you've had so far, and I just can't wait to hear the new album. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah. I really liked Philadelphia. I watched over and over and over when I was a kid, to the point that like I think Vigil is the song that is playing in the opening credits. And when I was a kid, I was like, my band's got to have a song that we can. It's not the opening credits, but it's like the DVD play screen.
Okay.
And I was always like, we need one of those songs that has like soft parts at the beginning, so it can play at the beginning of our DVD screen.
Do we have
Intro.
a song like that now, you think? Or
Definitely. We
Okay.
do now.
okay.
Once the new album comes out.
I love the idea of making a DVD.
Yeah,
That would be
I do
fucking
too.
sick.
That's a really good idea.
And it could be streaming, and then
yeah.
you could buy it as well. That'd be a really cool.
You know, the last thing
to
that I
have.
actually watched that was like that I really thought was awesome was Yule Amal, or I think it was it called Yule Amal? Yeah, it was Yule Amal, Black Dahlia Murder. They put it out like a year ago. The dude who did sound for us on the last tour, Marshall. Did I really just say that? Did I really just say Mitchell?
Yeah, it's all good. He's not listening.
Marshall.
Yeah.
Marshall did.
Well, I think you might have messed up because of Michelle.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
He is, him and his girlfriend's names. It's hard, like, sometimes if I think of both of them, because her name is Michelle and his name is Marshall, so it comes out Mitchell.
Or
But-
Marshall. I call him Marshall.
Marshall.
Which is a really good celebrity.
But
compliment.
Marshall shot that DVD with Michelle. Both of them shot it together. And they did such a fucking good job on that. It wasn't a DVD. I think they put it out through Night Shift.
Yeah, it was like on YouTube.
Yeah, and I loved watching it. It was funny. The performances were awesome. So that was really cool. Everyone, when we were kids, I feel like had disaster pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that or not. I must have. Is that the first Slipknot DVD?
Yeah. It's like in a black box. I don't know if it was first.
Because
It's
I
a
think-
black box that has like
Yeah.
a pentagon type thing on the front of it. It was like matte black.
I don't think I had that. Because Chase had I want to say he had a Slipknot VHS tape that was the self-titled cover on there.
Oh, no, that's not it.
And it was
that
like
was
them on Ozfest and shit. And just
Yeah.
like random. So we watched that a bunch. That was freaking cool.
there was this Bleeding Through DVD that I really liked. God, yeah, it was kind of a thing when we were kids.
Yeah,
There were a
sick.
lot of
Yeah.
bands making DVDs.
Yeah, we had a
Let's bring-
Sepultura one
Yeah.
that we would watch. I think it was called Live in Rio de Janeiro.
That's sick.
And then we had there was a Primus one that I used to rent from the video store.
Damn, that's awesome.
That was actually before I was into death metal. I heard Primus. I was like, damn, this is the shit. Loved it because I played drums. And then let's see what else. There was the Frank Zappa one. I watched that one a lot, but that was more when I was 16.
Which one?
Baby Snakes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Baby Snakes.
Yeah. When I was 16, we watched that a lot.
What's that weird Zappa movie? 1,000 Hotels.
200 Motels.
200 Motels. What a fucking weird thing
Yeah.
that is. But
Unwatchable.
it's as close as you can get to being unwatchable.
Oh, what about we had Dream Theater?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Scenes.
We had the Scenes, and then there was another one.
But now we're talking more live DVDs.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
these, like what we're talking about, like,
Well, they would have stuff mixed in with them.
that's true.
So, I mean, it would have your backstage stuff, but then there was usually live performance in most all of them.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the Pantera ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chase had that too.
What
Chase
was
had
that?
all the videos, not me, apparently.
That's pretty sick. Chase got all the sick shit.
What
Yeah,
was the
I
Pantera
I
one? It was
wasn't the
called,
one who had them.
Cowboys from Hell home video or something like that. I'm blowing it.
I actually did own Philadelphia,
Okay.
but I did not. It was a friend who owned Disaster Pieces.
I had an Earth Crisis one too.
You know what Philadelphia actually kind of taught me, though, is how I didn't really want to, because there's like this huge band fight where everyone's like punching the vocalist and stuff, or he's like all shit-faced on the bus.
Wait, they're
And I
actually
was like,
fighting
I
or
don't want to be, they're like actually fighting. And
Wow.
I'm like, I don't want to be
in that
a
type of
crazy
band.
drunk person on tour. So I learned from a very young age
Like, it's not
that
a
I
good
didn't
thing.
want to be like wasted and fighting my band.
Yeah. Well, that would be weird if all the bands started punching you.
That would be weird. Or
That'd
maybe
be
he was
problematic.
punching them. It's been a long time since I've
It'd be
seen
extremely
it. but
problematic.
Yeah. It would.
So you kind of get a pass there. Probably not gonna get punched.
True. I probably won't.
But dude, Cannibal Corpse. But that was more of just like a straight up live. And honestly, we had a lot of VHS tapes. Okay, that's how old I am.
Yeah, they weren't DVDs. They were VHS.
They weren't DVDs, dude. Because yeah, Chase had the Cannibal VHS, and I'm pretty sure Slipknot, and I think Cowboys from Hell too. So.
Yep.
But dude, I would absolutely love to have that as a merch item. Yeah, maybe you could have some studio in the making stuff, some funny tour stuff, not us beating up Cheney, and live shit.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Sick.
Some behind the scenes stuff.
I love the idea.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Any other notable mentions for you, Cheney?
I
DVDs?
just can't really think of anything. I mean, I'm sure something will come to me after this, but the Bleeding Through one is like the latest one that I watched. So that must have been in, I don't know 2006.
Okay.
So it's been a really long time since I've even...
Yeah, because YouTube came out and there was no more DVDs.
Yeah.
They ruined
but like
it.
I said,
fucked us.
The Yule Mall that Marshall and Michelle shot of Black Dahlia, there are a lot of cool just shots in it.
Okay.
Like there's this one church performance that's really awesome.
All right, we got one more call. Should we peep this call?
I actually think that on the episode Trevor was on, we talked about that.
I think they had just done that.
They had just done it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think we asked him if they would ever like make it into a DVD or anything. Oh, Black Dahlia had a DVD.
That's right.
Yes, I
That's
watched that. That might be the last thing I watched. What was it called?
I think it was when like Miasma came out, right?
I think
Around that
so.
time?
Yeah. What was that? I'm gonna look that up right now.
I don't know that I actually ever saw that one.
I
to be honest
definitely
with you.
saw it.
I knew
because
that they
would
had it.
like smoke a bunch of weed in it. I think Kareem was in it as well.
Smoking weed, that's illegal.
They definitely didn't smoke weed in it. Black Dahlia Murder DVD.
Home video.
Was it called Majesty? What year did that come out in? Might have been Majesty. 09. That's probably the last one that I really got into.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it.
It's awesome. They are the type of band that would have a sick DVD.
It was awesome. Yeah.
So, coming at you soon to video stores everywhere. ENTHEOS DVD.
We really should do that.
I'm down.
I would love
and have
that.
cool packaging.
Of course. You got to have cool packaging.
We should have done that for this album because so much fucking shit went down.
Oh, man, I know.
It would have been sick.
I know.
But we need like
Next
a film
album.
crew.
I think we've actually been talking about like next time, on the next album, we're going to have someone shoot footage.
Yeah, we need to bring people in.
So, we could release that as YouTube videos with, hidden content
Or just
something
make
like
YouTube
that.
videos, but then make something totally different for a DVD.
Yeah. Yeah, cut other stuff. That could be awesome.
All right, incoming call.
Hey there, Naveen and Cheney. Good to reach out to the hotline again, and just a really awesome thing that you guys are doing with the hotline. And thanks
Golden
for
Lobster
going into so
Hotline,
much
baby.
Detail, on the question that I asked about songwriting. My name is Ryan. Also, I don't know if I said that last time, but yeah, kind of continuing on that theme of songwriting. I'm just curious. If you guys have ever experienced with like overthinking of parts, or like when you're songwriting, you're, overthinking, or you found yourself kind of like working on things or sections that didn't really matter, and then maybe you like wasted time or could have done something else with that time, and maybe how you kind of overcome that, or how you maybe would suggest people to kind of not get stuck on those particular type of things and like overthinking too much. And I just find that I spend a lot of time on songs and reworking things constantly. So any advice you have, that'd be great. All right, thanks guys. Take care.
Yeah, it's a fine balance.
Totally.
It's a fine balance. I would say I think it's fine to overthink things and to really go into detail as long as you're still flowing. It's when you get stuck.
Right.
That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to tell, you're the only one who can tell what that is. Like, am I stuck on this, or am I working on it and making it really cool?
Absolutely.
So I find like if I do get stuck, I'm fine to just move on and do something else. And you can just, bank the thing you're doing, or it doesn't have a shelf life.
Right.
It's something that you can use down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for example, we were making this last album, and one of the songs that's on the album is literally not a joke song, but like some rock song we made it was from our project that we were going to start with the song that we used for the theme song. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So things can come back around. They can fit in way down the line.
Yeah.
So you don't have to force everything to work. It's okay if it doesn't work. It's not a waste of time. That's what I'm saying in regards to how he was saying, oh, I might be wasting time. And it's not. And you're learning stuff. So
yeah.
I've got tons of stuff that we didn't use. There's tons of songs that we didn't
But with
use.
that being said, I think it goes back to how we were talking about everything. You know, there's got to be a neutral balance to everything, because you can really get too far into overanalyzing your parts. And like, if you've written a song and you're going back and changing the parts a million times, generally, I remember this as something that I was told when I was a kid and taking tests. Generally, the first thing that you come to is going to be the best thing that you produce.
Yep.
So this happens to me with lyrics and song titles. Like, you can ask Naveen, I will second guess myself a million times on lines and song titles, but generally I always end up settling on the first thing that I did, because that's what sounded the best. That's what came the most naturally. And that's exactly what I felt when I heard the part. And that was like the authentic thing that happened. And you find that if you're switching out things too much, that it doesn't feel authentic anymore. It feels really forced. So
we don't want that.
You don't want that.
We don't want that.
So overanalyzing is good, unless, like Naveen says, it's stopping you from a forward progression, because you can sit and, comb over a song for 3 years. And that's when you get to the point that you're not going to release anything, when in reality, you could have released that song 3 years ago and written a better song this year.
Yeah. Or maybe the song that's taken 3 years, just, use it down the road.
Yeah.
When it's ready.
Toss it to the side.
Yeah. I mean, the stuff that I make that I think is the best is like what you said. I'm like flowing. I'm in the zone. Just
it's almost like
coming out.
It's almost like you're a conduit, and you're not even the person writing that stuff. And
100%.
that always is the stuff that feels the best.
100%. 100%. Yeah, and the stuff that I do sort of force to work, later on, I'm kind of like, shouldn't have done that.
Yeah,
Should've just went
totally.
with the thing that was flowing.
I mean, there's even a thing with vocals where sometimes sometimes I'll like scream a word and it came out like the vocal sound is imperfect, because, there are highs and lows and like good ways to hit those within vocals.
Well, that was a rhyme.
Kind of, yeah.
Highs and lows
and good ways to hit those within vocals. But sometimes like the part that sounds the best is the part where I like squeaked a little.
Yeah.
Or, it's a little like not even hoarse, but it like cracks a little. And that actually sounds way better than if I were to redo it in a perfect way.
I agree with that 100%. I think.
Or drums.
The characteristics are cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've been noticing stuff like that on the new album. Like I'll like hit the China like twice, like I was gonna ride on it, but then like switch to a crash. And a lot of people will be like, "Oh, don't do that." Like he hit it twice, and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's cool. It's like got character to it."
Yeah.
I want to play technical music that's like crazy and really thought out and all that stuff, but at the same time, I like there to be some like liveliness to it.
Yeah, like let's think about it that way. Imperfection does give character to things. Like if I go and see a band live, it's really cool when they can nail everything perfectly and it sounds like inhuman, but it's also cool when they fuck up and I know that there's a band playing. Or I like when a part is played differently and you're like, oh yeah, I'm watching a band. I'm not listening to a perfect thing.
Yep, 100%.
So there's a lot of beauty in imperfection.
I agree. And forced things are usually not good. I think we can across the board agree on that one.
There are so many times where it's been like, I don't personally like something that other people latch onto.
Yeah.
I'm even noticing that in showing the new album to some of our friends. Like, they're picking out songs that aren't my favorite songs as being their favorite songs. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
There you go. We have also a text that came through.
All right, let's hear the text.
Last week, but I forgot to read it because we were partying on the show. Okay. Hello there, Chaney and Naveen. Golden Lobster Steve here. I'm so stoked to hear the new material, especially since I couldn't stop listening to Remember You Are Dust. I remember seeing a video of you guys doing a Chelsea Wolfe song, and Chaney was singing a Chelsea Wolfe song, and I was wondering if you would ever consider clean vocals on an ENTHEOS track.
Yeah, that video is up on my Instagram. I think we posted it like a year ago.
And your boy's there playing acoustic guitar, dude.
That's right. There is singing on the new ENTHEOS album. So it's always been something that I've wanted to do with the band. You know, we've always been a progressive, that type of band that could bring in melodic stuff. And I'm doing it on this record.
But it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. We needed to do it when it was at the right time.
Exactly.
Like, we're not just going to force it in.
We never wanted to force it.
And it is that type of kind of, it's more of the Chelsea Wolfe kind of vein of singing. It's not like we have some fucking pop song. It's like, it's still dark and evil and shit. It's just got some singing on there.
More of my influence when it comes to stuff like that is like from the doom realm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, you know, a lot of my friends who sing, they come from kind of like a more pop realm, and that's what their influence is, and that stuff is cool. But my influence comes from doom and that kind of singing, and, you know, low key and proggy stuff, and that's what we want it to be the new album.
Dark, and the whole new album is kind of more dark themed and vibe. So we wanted to keep that going.
Yeah, and you know, if there are parts that call for it in the future, we'll keep rolling that way.
I know. I think we probably will, though.
I'm sure.
Turned out cool.
I mean, I honestly feel like I'm being my most authentic self on this record out of all of our records so far. This is like the vocalist that I want to be and plan on being. And
I agree with that.
That's, you know, if people like it, that'll be great. If people don't like it, that's great too. We're just writing what we want. It doesn't really matter to us.
100%. That's what I think.
But yeah, so that's the week. Also, listen to the new Surreption album.
Yeah.
We were jamming it this morning.
Do you know what it's called?
It's called Yurd.
Yurd, okay.
It's spelled J-O, but the O has a
slash.
So Swedish I don't know if that's like a different
Swedish stuff.
Just Swedish stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it is really sick.
It's really sick.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It kicks ass.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Surreption is, you know,
top notch.
Fucking top notch. Great band.
But yeah, everybody, hope you had having a great week.
Yeah,
a great
hope you have a good
day.
one.
If you're at work, then tretch through. Is that a word? I don't know.
No.
Trudge.
I think trudge is like a bad.
All right. Well, anyway, keep trekking.
All right. Love you guys.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Have a good
Peace.
one.